The next speaker is Orayne Mullings, and Orayne is a technical sales engineer for Desmet Ballestra. Orayne became a chemical engineer because he followed his older sister, who was a chemical engineer, and it kind of got him motivated to go after the same thing. It was funny in your little write-up, Orayne, how you stated that you were thinking becoming a doctor, but you realized that being a chemical engineer would give you a better balanced life. I've seen a lot of chemical engineers in plants working 12 and 20-hour shifts, so I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, Orayne is going to talk today about the science behind technology. Desmet, as you know, gets involved from extraction to deodorization and processes, and they're very involved in the market and well known throughout the world in terms of their expertise. With that, Orayne, why don't you take it away and begin your presentation?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me and giving me your time here today. I'm, as was introduced, I'm Orayne Mullings. I'm with Desmet Ballestra. The format of my presentation might be a little bit different and a lot shorter. We just want to kind of give you a brief little overview of the company and update of what we're doing. We prefer to have a format. If you have any questions, please come talk to us, as we're technology providers for a wide variety of different applications inside the edible oil industry. So as this slide here is pointing out, we're a world leader in developing the engineering practices and technologies for some of the processing plants. And we own a lot of proprietary equipment for a few of these business areas as shown below. We have specific technologies inside of the oils and fats. We have our own press manufacturing over in England, the rose down pressing that I'm sure a few processors are pretty familiar with. And we own the line of Stoltz animal feed and agro food. Along with that, we have a lot of oleochemical and biodiesel applications. Our headquarters for that is out of Italy, as well as our Mazzoni soaps, detergents, surfactants, and chemicals. So we have a wide variety of process lines and technologies to assist many different businesses and anybody inside the edible oil field. The backbone of all of our technology is based out of our R&D lab. We have a very qualified team who's helped work along with some of these AOCS analytical methods. They're based out of Zavington, Belgium. So a lot of times we'll have customers coming to us wanting to know how certain products would work. We can work them through technological process from a lab scale, upgrading to a bench scale, and then going further on to full industry applications. So we're backed up by a very strong R&D team that helps us develop a lot of these technologies and really get a custom tailor-made process for a lot of people, as sometimes with the refining, everybody likes a nice little custom-made plant. They have their own special needs and desires. It also allows us to stay on the forefront of technology, as the rise of 3-MCPDs, glycerol esters, was a big concern over the past few years, and regulations are coming. More like regulations are going to be stringent, and we've been working together with our R&D lab as well as many other processors to figure out what we can do to alleviate some of these concerns. So we also, of course, have been in the business for 70 years, over 70 years. We have a wide variety of people working across many different countries. And we make a big effort to have a positive impact on the planet, reduce effluence, and also try and keep a good economical sourcing of steam and all utilities inside of the plant. As I said before, our product line ranges from bringing the seed into the plant, preparation, moving forward into some of the extraction of the oil from the plants, refining the oil through whatever processes would be best suited for the oil seed and application, to forward onto different fat modification processes, hydrogenation, interesterification, fractionation. So if you have any questions or concerns that you'd like to talk through with any of the Desmet team, we like to make ourselves available as resources. My information should be attached with this, as well as I'm sure one of the past presidents, Blake Hendricks, you all probably know how to reach him as well. But that concludes my presentation for today. Thank you.
Hi, Orayne. Thanks very much for the description of what your company does, and I know you're very involved in a lot of different areas. Can you just briefly explain, like you're inside sales, but how does the process work if a company reaches out to you? What is your process that comes into your inside sales team and then outside, and how does your company manage that?
That's a great question, Bruce. Really, if you're an existing customer, you've probably spoken to another salesman, but if you're not, my information is there. The inquiry can come either through me or our general North American sales inbox. I'll evaluate the request, likely contact you and talk through some of the details a little bit more. I'll consult with, I'm a little bit young, a little bit new to the scene, but so of course I'm always going to run this by my bosses who have a lot more experience. We'll talk through processes that we think would best suit your process and likely give you a call back and confirm some of those details. And as well, we function as an EPC in a variety of different countries. So we really look at the whole scope of the project. It doesn't just stop at, I want a deodorizer, I want this much oil. Well, why do you want that much oil? What are you going to do with it? Is there a market for this? Where are you getting this supplied from? Those sort of questions. We really, I don't want to say hold your hand, but we kind of hold your hand through the whole process if you need the assistance. So we're there for that.
Good. Question came in, do you have any technology to mitigate MOH contamination?
I'm sorry, I'm not as familiar with that. Is that the contaminant in fish oil?
It's mineral oil that's
Mineral
found
oil.
in hydrocarbons that are found in vegetable oil. You know, there was a presentation, I don't know, a few years back by ADM, a scientist in Germany for them that was really good on this. And they found that they went all the way back to the plantation. And when they put the palm fruit on the trucks, it was the exhaust from the truck that was getting on the outside of the palm fruit. And then when they extracted the oil from the palm fruit, this hydrocarbons was going into the oil. And so you had a very low level, you know, the ppm level in the oil. But it was a very good presentation by ADM, and it was pretty interesting in terms of how they tracked it all the way back to the source, because when they found it in the end product, they were surprised by it. And there's a lot of variation that I think you get from lab to lab when you're looking at this stuff. So it's hard. And in this case, ADM went and bought their own equipment so they could make sure that whatever they were seeing, they were really seeing the same numbers. But anyway, that I know it's a hot topic, and I'm sure some of your engineers in the field are running into it out there
I see.
today.
That, that probably goes into, unfortunately, my area that I've most been working with has been refining and
Yep.
modification. We have experts, especially, I don't know if you're familiar, Adolfo Subieta and Diego Madero. They should be available on the booth as well. So any
Okay.
questions for that, they'd certainly be a great resource for that.
Yeah, that's good. With regard to your current business, where do you see the major growth for you? What Desmet is doing? Because you mentioned that you're in so many different areas out there in the marketplace.
Really, the market seems to be a little bit making a lot of movements in recent years. Renewable diesels, pre-treatment of those, it came into the forefront. As I wasn't around for it, but I'm told it's reminiscent of the early days of biodiesel. It's become a very hot topic. So for a little while, it seems like sourcing will be a main issue. So I think people are going to want to work with what they have and get the most value and yield out of their product. We also are having some very interesting technological advancements that we're trying to pass on. VRX-DT, it's a little bit of different alternative to the traditional DTs that are used currently. Again, that's something in extraction. So Adolfo and Diego would be better to speak to about that, but it's shown very promising results, I'll say.
Okay. And then, you have a lab in Belgium, and I'm familiar with some of the really talented people you have over there. Has Desmet thought of building a lab in the United States or Latin America to be closer to the customer, or does it still work efficiently being out of Belgium for you guys today?
At this time, we have been working mainly with our Belgian lab. There haven't been any developments in the North American place. we just have such a large knowledge base out of the Belgian lab. Our office is in North America. It's a relatively small office, so we really rely on a lot of that global sourcing to get things done.
Sure. Let's see. I don't see any other questions on the thing on the sheet over here that I have. No, I mean, you know, your company's been very successful, and you know, we've talked to you guys quite often about our business as well. In terms of a number of employees that you have globally as engineers in that, how big is your real organization in terms of size?
Quite large, quite large. As I said, out of the North American office, we might be about 30 people in the office,
Mm-hmm.
continuously expanding. It's been a very busy time. We also have the bulk of our engineering deliverables out of Bangalore, India. We have a very strong team there that also, while there's a team there that works on the execution of a lot of these engineering deliverables, we also have a separate team there that works on the projects, specifically in India.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I apologize for not having the number for you,
That's
but
okay. That's okay.
in the thousands, sorry, because we also have offices in Belgium, Africa, Malaysia. Just depending on what office you are, that's
That's
very
where you're
many.
located and working out of. Okay, great. Well, I really appreciate the presentation, Orayne, and I think we're going to be moving on to the 30-minute question and answer from the field. But thank you for sharing more about the Schmet and Ballestra and the benefits that you provide to the marketplace.
Thank you, Bruce.